the accomplishments and the joy and the growth and all of the things happen in ways that you don't predict, happen in ways that are so full of chaos that the thing you went in to achieve gets achieved, but along the way, three other things just get dragged along with it. And you are achieving more than you even wanted to because it is just part of the path. But, but you have to walk the path. You have to show up. No matter what life throws at you, you can do that. You can take one step in the right direction. And then as you slowly gather up your strength and willpower, you take another. It's really easy to get so close to a thing and to get so consumed by a thing that it's all you can see. And then you get it in your head that you have to somehow overcome this giant thing. And it's just too much. Can't possibly overcome that. Hey guys, Corey here, AuDHD Act 2. Today I want to talk to you about slaying your dragons. And what do I mean by that? I just mean moving forward with whatever obstacles are standing in your way and facing up to them and how to make progress instead of letting these things kind of hang over you and continuously bring you down. So every one of us has challenges. Every single one of us has problems that we face every single day. And that is the one, thing that will never stop. That will be a constant all the way up until the day you die. You will have things to deal with. You will have challenges. You will have change. You will have all of these things that are just part of being alive. And mine today was going to divorce court and representing myself for the first time that I've ever had to represent myself, but just going in there into a completely unknown situation and doing the best I can to prepare and to move forward. And I'm driving back from that now through beautiful, South Park, Colorado. I'm realizing how much better I feel about the situation after now having been there and just seen day one. So there was very little that happened today. There was not a lot of, it's the initial conference. So we just kind of show up, go over the details, make sure the forms that have been filed have been noted appropriately, and just set some dates for the future. Well, it's still the first day I'm in court representing myself. So this is, it's a very anxious day. And I drove down there 2 hours early. I showed up 2 hours early to court because I couldn't imagine this thought of sitting in my house anymore, waiting for the clock to move. So I just drove down there. And I sat there and I wanted to watch a case and get a little bit of experience that way, but that wasn't what was on the docket or whatever for today. And so I had to just sit out in the hallway and wait for 2 hours. I get into the courtroom. I'm looking around the wooden walls, and it was actually a fairly warm space. And the administrator that was there in the courtroom was extremely helpful and really helped to show me what I needed to do next and what was how to file a motion and all of these other things. And I walked away 30 minutes later. I sat there 2 hours early, and the court itself only lasted half an hour. So I think a lot of you guys on the spectrum have probably been in similar situations where you just had to move. And so I sat there, I got through it. But my point is, after that, I feel so much better. I saw this room. I now know next time what the room will be like. And I know a lot of you guys can understand this, like just knowing what the room will be that I'm walking into where I didn't have that today, knowing that next time is going to make it so much easier. It's going to make my ability to kind of prepare and mentally rehearse and, ruminate on what's coming. It's going to make that much easier and much more accurate. And that helps me. I avoid rumination whenever possible, but there are times where I will just go through scenarios. And when it comes time for the real world to happen, it goes easier because I've been through the scenarios, because I know what the possibilities are, because I practiced so many times in my mind. Whether or not, therapists will say that's healthy or not is who knows, but it helps me when those situations come to fruition and I have been through enough practice to know, okay, this is the best step for me. And so face whatever dragon you're trying to slay today, whatever obstacle you're trying to overcome, take one step in the right direction, because that's all you can do. No matter how big this problem is, it's just a whole bunch of tiny steps forward. It's really easy to get so close to a thing and to get so consumed by a thing that it's all you can see. And then you get it in your head that you have to somehow overcome this giant thing. And it's just too much. Can't possibly overcome that. But what you don't realize is you're never fighting the entire thing. You're fighting tiny bits. You're fighting against inconsistency. You're fighting against all of these forces that take you off track, when really all you got to do is keep moving forward an inch at a time until you're where you need to go, until you've figured it out, until you've got enough of those little steps done that you are now a person who has represented themselves in court and come out the other side. Or you are now a person who has, reinvented themselves and gone back to school and become this instead of that, or this on top of that, plus that. Like, the more you do that, the more you overcome, the more you succeed at whatever life throws at you, then the better you're going to be prepared for the next thing. The more comfortable you're going to be going into the next challenge, the less overwhelming it will seem, because you've overcome so much in your lifetime. And looking back, when you really stop and think, that it's one step at a time, over and over and over, and that you can do that. You can always do that. No matter what life throws at you, you can do that. You can take one step in the right direction. And then as you slowly gather up your strength and willpower, you take another. And you just keep doing that. And eventually you build this momentum that turns you into something you never thought possible. It turns you into something that only weeks ago you couldn't have imagined, because the accomplishments and the joy and the growth and all of the things happen in ways that you don't predict, happen in ways that are so full of chaos that the thing you went in to achieve gets achieved, but along the way, 3 other things just get dragged along with it, and you are achieving more than you even wanted to, because it is just part of the path. But you have to walk the path. You have to show up. You have to put your foot in front of the other, and you have to keep doing that as many times as necessary, knowing that time's going to pass anyway. Life is going to pass by. So you can either sit there and let that giant dragon just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it's so insurmountable that you can barely face your day, or you take a step towards it and you keep moving and you keep moving and you fight and you fight and you fight until you've done so many moves and taken so many steps that you win the battle. And you come out the other side stronger. And it may not be the outcome you were going for. Maybe it's different. Maybe you lose the battle. Maybe you end up with a result you didn't even think was possible. That's not the point. You don't get to control everything. You never will. You never will be in control. That's just an illusion. What you do have the ability to control is how you react, how you respond. And how useful that response is will determine your success in life. If you just respond out of just, like a knee-jerk reaction every time something challenging comes, you're going to have a knee-jerk reaction kind of life. You're going to have all of these difficulties that hang around because you're not dealing with it, because you're just living in a way that is completely reactive rather than proactive. So go out there and step towards your problem, move towards your dragon, step into this battle that you need to have, because the next chapter doesn't happen until this chapter's done. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys got something out of this video. If so, please like, subscribe, share. I'm really working hard on that fast climb to 11 subscribers. But more than anything, know that whatever you face today, you are enough. You have all of the things you need to go and start facing whatever it may be. You may need to learn new skills. You may need to face things in ways you never have before. But what you possess now is enough for step 1. It always is enough for step 1. Always. And it's going to be tough, but you've got this. So enjoy your day.